And we are live, people. We are live. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Chosen Wisdom Football. This is the transfer Manchester United transfer talk. Big up yourself, people. Hope you're having a good day. The weather is absolutely beautiful. The sun is shining here in UK, and I hope it is the same wherever you are watching from. On your way in, guys, please smash the like, because it's a small channel, so everything and every little bit of conversation, every talk, every like, everything matters in this channel. So on your way in, please smash the like, turn on your notifications, and of course, if you want to, please subscribe below, help the channel grow. We're on our way to 1,000 subscribers. That is our target by the end of the year, guys. And what a show that we have for you. Yes, it is a slow news day. In general, it's a slow news day, but there's enough going on to tickle our inquiries, to make us curious. There's enough going on to keep us intrigued, to keep us worrying, maybe to keep us excited, happy, sad, and every single emotion in between. Yet we are going to go through it today. There is big goalkeeping news throughout the day. We have been drip fed news about Onana potentially leaving. Then we have been told that Onana is not leaving. So we're going to get into what the hell is going on with the whole goalkeeping saga at Manchester United. There's also talks, as we all know, on Martinez joining the club from Aston Villa. Listen, I might be one of the very few people that's going to have an unpopular opinion regarding Martinez, regarding the whole Onana situation. So please, guys, stick around for my thoughts on the situation, where I assume will not agree with a lot of your opinions on the situation. So we will talk about the goalkeeping situation. We will talk about the striker situation, Xerxes and hojlund. There is news from the Manchester United camp that the manager prefers to keep Xerxes. There's also continuing talks about hojlund and where he is going. I believe Inter Milan are showing interest in hojlund. There's conversations, news on Sancho and also Garnacho's exit from the club. So we'll get into that as well. Apparently, Antony has agreed or will agree to take a pay cut to go to his next club. That is also something we will get into today. And there is also news about Bruno being nominated for the PFA Player of the Season. Bruno Fernandes, after the season that we had, after the poor performances he and the rest of the team put in this season, he's nominated for one of the best players this season. No one in Man United. One, I don't care if Ahmad was injured for 2 months. He was our best player. And two, the fact that any of our players this season is nominated for that award is an absolute travesty of football. I'm a Manchester United fan. I love the club, but I'm also objective and I'm also intelligent. There is not one single player from Man United that really stuck out, that really deserves to be in conversation this year for the Player of the Year. Bruno. There is a rhetoric out there that he somehow carried the club. Carried the club where? To 15th. Like, I do not understand it. I do not understand the brainwashing. And we're going to get into it, guys. Whether you like it or not, we're going to get into it. If you love Bruno Fernandes, fine. But I know even the people, the Manchester United fans who adore Bruno, will be shocked that he's been nominated. He's up there for this award. Crazy. So we're going to get into it, guys. There is a lot for us to discuss as usual. Please smash the like, people. Please. Anyway, we will start off with the Onana news and the Onana saga. So here's where I'm at, guys, with the Onana situation. We get told conflicting news by different journalists. We're often told that Man United are considering keeping Onana. Then we're told Onana's set to stay. Then we're told that if offers and bids come in for Onana, they will listen. So we're told kind of conflicting information about Onana all the time. But I think it's clear to most people that he potentially could stay. And this is the stance I think the club is at. He potentially could stay. However, if there is a keeper that is better, and many of you believe that most keepers are better, if there's a keeper that is better and available and affordable out there, I think Manchester United will move. If they can get a good fee for Onana, I think Manchester United will move. That is the position of the club. So on the screen, as you can see, Monaco are considering a move for Andre Onana. What does that mean? It means exactly what it says. No bid, no conversations yet. He might be on a list of goalkeepers that they are considering. That's it. That's it. So it's a good thing from our perspective that there are clubs out there looking at Onana and still considering to buy this goalkeeper. Still considering this goalkeeper a top goalkeeper. Now, I have an unpopular opinion about what's happened with Andre Onana since he's come to the club and the whole goalkeeping situation. Now, my thing is this. Is Onana the best goalkeeper in the league? No. Has Onana made bad mistakes that have led to us conceding goals? Yes. Is Onana a great goalkeeper? I still wouldn't say he is. Are there better goalkeepers out there for us to buy and replace Onana with? Yes. So objectively, I agree with a lot of the Man United fans out there who want him to leave and get a better goalkeeper in. I get that, right? However, this is probably where I diverge from many United fans. Somehow, some way, he has slowly crept into the area of scapegoating. Some way, the Man United fans have got into their heads that he is the cause and he is the reason, the number one reason why we finished 15th. I believe a lot of Man United fans are psychologically damaged and they've adopted that position. They've adopted the position where they believe he's the fault at most things because you always want one person to be a scapegoat. We don't handle nuance very well. We don't handle if there's a combination of things going wrong. We like to focus on one thing and one thing only. That's our brains. Our brains are programmed to be like that, right? And it's much easier for us to believe that Onana and his 4 or 5 big errors that he made this season is the reason why we finished 15th. If you believe that and if you think that in the head, in your mind, then you're wrong. You're wrong. And we need to have a bit of, approach this with a bit of critical thinking. Another way to look at this, people, is this. I saw a stat out there that showed that we conceded similar amount of goals as some of the top teams. Which means the mistakes that Onana made, while they did cost us games, yes, they did. If we could score goals, those mistakes almost become irrelevant. If I told you that we've conceded 55, 56 goals or something along those lines this season, which is similar to some of the top teams, right? But the difference is that we do not score goals. I've seen Alisson make mistakes. I've seen Arsenal goalkeeper make bozo mistakes. But none of those goalkeepers face as many shots as Onana. None of those goalkeepers have the uncertainty in front of them like Onana does. None of those goalkeepers are going through a transition period like Onana. And the thing is, I agree with a lot of people that says I would agree more if people criticised Onana's goalkeeping ability, i.e., objectively criticise him. Say these things. Say that he gets low or he gets down to the ground too slowly. Say that his footwork is not that great. Say that when it comes to him diving, right, he doesn't have that spring when he dives. You can criticize him objectively, criticize his goalkeeping objectively. What I see online, however, is the emotion. I think the disappointment of the season, a lot of people are pouring it into Onana. Once again, I'm not saying Onana is the best goalkeeper in the world, and I would change him. Yes. What I'm saying is that he is not the reason why we finished 15th. We finished 15th because we cannot play football and we don't score goals. If Onana makes a mistake and concedes one goal, or if De Gea, for instance, made a mistake and conceded a goal, right, like he did many times when he started, we would go up the other end and score 2 or 3, and the mistake wouldn't be important. Just like if Alisson makes a mistake or any of the top goalkeepers make a mistake, they know that the team they're playing for will score goals and get them out of trouble. Imagine being a goalkeeper knowing, that you're not going to score goals because you've got Hojlund and a really bad front line. And you are the reason. You're going to be the only reason why we win or lose. Not the strikers. You. And that should never be the case. We should never be looking at the goalkeeper and thinking what he does makes us win or lose. If he makes one mistake and we concede one goal, we can't score. Look at Nottingham Forest, right? We lost 1-0. So to just reaffirm what I'm trying to say to you guys, just in case you don't understand where I'm coming from, I'm saying there's a story, there's a rhetoric being painted in the fan base that every goalkeeper is better than Onana, and we just need to get rid of him at all costs. And that is why many of you are getting excited about getting Emi Martinez. Let me tell you something. I refuse to replace one goalkeeper who makes mistakes with another goalkeeper who is erratic. We're not going forward if we... Listen, it's not get rid of him at all costs and just get anyone in. No, the next goalkeeper we bring into this club has to be researched, analysed for a good period of time. He needs to be the goalkeeper that everybody is certain is our goalkeeper for the next 10 years. I do not want another plaster. I do not want Manchester United to spend £40 million, which has been reported, on Emi Martinez. I see people online saying, yes, Emi Martinez because he's a warrior or he's rude or he will do this. I'm like, listen, he will aggravate the fans and all these things. I'm like, listen, I don't care about that. I just need my goalkeeper to be competent, sound, and make less mistakes. That is not Emi Martinez. If the idea that we're getting excited, anyone gets excited over spending £40 million on Emi Martinez when we know we can get a goalkeeper in Europe probably just as good for like 10 or 15 million. There are many goalkeepers out there that are decent. I would rather, and this is once again probably all unpopular opinions, I would rather keep Onana for another year and take our time to get the goalkeeper that we want rather than rush and get Emi Martinez, who, according to the stats, makes almost just as many errors. Now, stats are always going to be misleading because it depends on the context, and I'll always say this on this channel. Context is key. But Aston Villa had a better season than us. Aston Villa probably faced less shots than we did, right? However, Onana's had more clean sheets than Emi Martinez, right? Yes, he's conceded more goals. That's probably some of the mistakes he's made. He's made more saves. He's made more saves per match, and the save success is more than Emi Martinez. So that's just objective. He has saved more shots than Emi Martinez in objective terms. He has more, despite the season we've had, he's had more clean sheets than Emi Martinez in objective terms. That's just, you can't, that's just it. So I just feel like he's not good enough, Onana. But this excitement about Emi Martinez, I feel like it's just, you hate this guy so much. You believe he's so bad that you're willing to take Emi Martinez for 40 million. I think it's wrong. I think it's the same mistake that we made with Onana all over again. And I just want Manchester United to take their time, find the goalkeeper that they want, the long-term goalkeeper that they need, and not make this mistake again. And I do not believe that Emi Martinez is the goalkeeper that Manchester United should be pursuing. So let me know, guys. I have a feeling many of you will disagree. But I just feel like some of this anti-Onana thing is a bit forced. It's a bit too much. Like, you know, it's a bit too much. Like, he is a goalkeeper that made just as many mistakes as other goalkeepers, I reckon, in the league. Maybe a bit more, but it is what it is anyway. Onana needs to leave, but we need to get the right goalkeeper in. That's the takeaway that I want to leave with you guys. Let's move on from that situation. We are actually looking for our goalkeepers, as we all know. We have had talks with Emi Martinez, which I've just explained is not my cup of tea. But as you guys can see on screen, apparently Ruben Amorim is... Wait for it to come up. Ruben Amorim likes Marco Karnaszewski. So, this is the goalkeeper, apparently, according to these reports, that this manager, our manager, wants the most to replace Andre Onana at Manchester United. I've seen a bit of this goalkeeper, a little bit. He's more of a traditional goalkeeper. I don't know much about him from the little bit that I've seen. But, and this has been reported by Di Marzio. But for me, as long as they're taking their time, as long as they've scouted him properly, as long as they know how good he is at diving, how good he is at his short kicks, how good he is at his long kicks, how good he is at reflexes, how physical he is in terms of defending and you know, being able to defend corners. As long as there's been some sort of good scouting, because Onana was bought because Ten Hag worked with him at Ajax and he did well in the Champions League, and I feel like that's why he was bought. But please, Manchester United, take your time and get the replacement in that is good enough for this football club, that will be the goalkeeper for the next 5-10 years. Please, no more rushing and buying goalkeepers off 1 or 2 performances, or because you know them before, or whatever. This has to be thorough. It has to be thorough. And that's the only thing I will say about this. I don't know much about him, apart from the little I've seen. But as long as we are doing our due diligence this time around, I'm good. I'm good. And as long as we're not doing no extortionate £40 million for Emi Martinez or whatever it might be, then once again, I'm fine if we get a different goalkeeper. I still believe we need another goalkeeper. Let me be clear one more time. I just don't like the get Onana out at all costs. I don't like get any goalkeeper, because any goalkeeper is better. I don't like that mentality that's crept in. Get any goalkeeper, because any goalkeeper is better than Onana. No. I have a feeling that if we did keep Onana this season, I don't think there's a good chance we won't, but I have a sneaky feeling that if we kept Onana this season and we have a good season, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Like, up until January, Onana made no mistakes. Up until January, despite the fact that we weren't playing well, he didn't do anything wrong, really. after January, for some reason, he started making some bozo errors. Some really bozo errors, some really fundamental mistakes. I think he made about 2 or 3 mistakes back to back as well. And when that happens, it brings it to your attention even more. So for me, Onana makes mistakes in clusters. Either when he's not confident, even the whole Matic thing, when Matic was doing his thing and he made a mistake in that game, he makes mistakes in clusters. I think confidence is a big issue with Onana. Very big issue. And like I said, we need a better goalkeeper, but not a better goalkeeper at all costs. I don't think we are there yet. Take our time, do our due diligence, and then we get a better goalkeeper. So that's my take on it, people. Let me know. I reckon most of you will disagree. Comment below what your take on the goalkeeper situation is. But moving on, as you can see on screen for you, it's not come up on my screen yet, so I have to wait. But news about Joshua Zirkzee and Rasmus Hojlund. Now, apparently, according to reports, and this is Ben Jacobs, who is a blue tick journalist, and it's a really weird tweet because it starts off by saying the feeling is that Ruben Amorim prefers. So when you start a tweet by saying the feeling is that someone else prefers something, rather than saying that he prefers something, then you got to be like, why don't you just say that he prefers? Why are you saying the feeling? So that's a weird tweet in itself. But we'll take this tweet and we'll look at it and we'll analyze it. And we'll say that, the feeling is Ruben Amorim prefers to keep Joshua Zirkzee over Rasmus Hojlund. Now, I'm going to say 2 things about that. One, if this manager didn't prefer to keep Zirkzee over Hojlund, he should get fired. He should lose his job. Like, when it's like, it's the most obvious thing in the world. If you've watched these 2 players in training, Ruben, and in game, right, and you prefer to keep Hojlund over Zirkzee, then I think you deserve to lose your job. You can't think that way. Like, if you thought that or think Hojlund is better than to be kept over Zirkzee, then I would have to question Ruben Amorim's fundamental understanding of football. Sometimes I already do. The idea or the fact that he played Hojlund game after game after game while Zirkzee was sitting on the bench already makes me question this guy's football knowledge and understanding fundamentally of the game. But I expect, Hojlund to leave either on loan or on a permanent deal. Zirkzee, he has much more to offer. We've seen Zirkzee, whether you like him or not, you don't tell lies on this channel. We look at things objectively and we apply a bit of critical thinking. So whether you like Zirkzee or not, you have to admit that he's a better all-round footballer than Hojlund. He can do more with the football than Hojlund can. He understands football, the game, better. Where to be and all of these things. He understands it more than Hojlund. He can pass better. He's just got more guns. He's got more to his arsenal than Hojlund does. He's a better footballer, right? So, of course, we should keep him over Hojlund. Now, in terms of Hojlund, there's talks that he wants to fight for his place, which is good. Everybody should want to fight for their place. But if you're not good enough, you're simply not good enough. And in my opinion, he needs to be sold ASAP. Not go out on loan just in case he improves. And no, he's 22. He's not going to be the first starter. He's not going to be a starter for Manchester United if you want to be where we think we should be, a top team. We cannot be a top team with this striker. It's really that simple. So Manchester United are not listening to Inter's loan offer for Rasmus Hojlund. United want a permanent sale for a fee of 45 million euros, with the sale guaranteed this summer, which Inter cannot afford right now. It's interesting that it says cannot afford right now, because I believe a lot of deals are waiting to be done after the 1st of July. which is the start of the financial year, or not the financial year, because for me, I'm a financial advisor. The financial year starts in April. Well, that's the tax year anyway. But the start of some bookkeeping years for some clubs is in July. So there's talk that after the 1st of July, we're going to see a lot more movement. 45 million euros is about, I don't know, 39 million pounds, 38 million pounds or something like that. Inter say they can't afford that right now. I don't believe them. I think they can, but they just don't want to pay that fee for the player. If I was Rasmus, I would go back to Italy. That's where, for 2 years, or maybe a year or two, I grew as a player. I played most of my game. The league is slower there. His pace can be used to run in and behind. He's not a great finisher, but he will still be effective for a lot of the Italian teams. So there's nothing for me really to say more about Hojlund, if I'm being honest. I think I've verbalized my opinion on the striker many, many times on this channel. I've said many, many times his deficiencies as a footballer, the fact that we paid so much money for him as a football club, and he's generally just not good enough. So I hope we do sell him. We bought him for 75 million euros. So we want to recoup at least half of that. I don't know if we can. I hope we can. And best of luck for him. Xerxes is a player we need to keep. And if we do not get a striker in this season, but we get Mbeumo, I'm content with Xerxes up front with Mbeumo and Cunha either side. I'm content. We need a striker. We do need a striker. But I will be more content with Xerxes up front than Hojlund up front. Anyway, moving on to Sancho news, people. There is Sancho news. So, Juventus have made an offer of 25 million, is it pounds or euros? Euros for Jadon Sancho. Because it's cut off the top bit. The offer was considered an important one. Now Juve have to convince the player who, as it stands, is interested by the prospect of a possible move to Napoli. So, as I said in my other streams, you always tell who the good players are and who that we're selling or trying to get rid of, and who the sort of mediocre players are. The fact of the matter is this: whether you like Jadon Sancho or not, and if you don't like Jadon, it's probably because the media have convinced you to hate him. I don't dislike Jadon at all. The only thing he's done that I dislike is when he tweeted freedom. That was ill-advised to tweet freedom. You're still a Man United player. You're only on loan. He shouldn't have done that. But standing up for himself when he was being used as a scapegoat, I applaud that. And Jadon as a footballer, I love his ability as a footballer. He's my type of footballer. His issue is he doesn't have the pace and the power that is needed in this league to play on the wings. That is his fundamental issue. And that's not his fault. He's just small. He's 5'4". And he's not that big or strong. And he doesn't have that much pace. He can't change that, and he never will be that sort of player. So we need to understand that succeeding in the Premier League doesn't make you a great player. We need to understand and get into our heads here that some of the best players in the world have never played in the Premier League and never will. Messi never have played, never will. Zidane, Ronaldinho, Ronaldo, all of these players who've all played all their football outside of this league and are some of the best footballers we've ever seen, yeah? I guarantee you, if they played in this league, we might not be calling them some of the best players because they might struggle. Just because you don't play a physical kick and run type of football, right, doesn't make you a bad player. And I want us to understand that. Please, guys, do not do no supremacy business where you think the Premier League is the best league in the world and all this stuff. It's not. Otherwise, a Premier League team would win the Champions League every year. We do not. It's such a crazy fallacy that we've got in our heads. This guy went to Dortmund for 6 months last season or the season before from January and led them to the Champions League semi-final. Every time, yeah, Jadon Sancho's out for sale or loan, there's always a queue of teams willing to purchase him because he's a good footballer. That is why. That is why some of the other players, like Rashford, are finding it more difficult for teams to come in for him. Because Rashford is not that good. It's really that simple. So that's another reason why we've also declined as a club. We often sell our best players and leave the players who we can't sell in the team. And often the players we can't sell are the worst ones because nobody wants them. So they stay. Our team goes from finishing second with Jose and Oli to now finishing 15th. We sold our Pogbas. We sold our Martials. We sold our world-class talent. We sold Matic. We sold all of those players. And who did we place them with? Bruno? What? An old Casemiro? Garnacho? Like, what? Like I said before in my other stream, I believe Sancho needs to go. I believe Rashford needs to go. Yes. But you cannot convince me, you cannot lie to me and tell me that Sancho is not better than Garnacho and Rashford's not better than Hojlund. You can't lie to me and tell me that if we had these players, Antony had these players last season, that we still would have finished 15th. No. Imagine starting the game with Sancho on the left and then bringing on Garnacho last 10-15 minutes rather than starting Garnacho game after game. You cannot convince me by having more of these players around we wouldn't have finished 15th. At the same time, I understand it's important to clear out some of these players, whether it's the wages that United want to recoup or whatever it is. I understand why we need to get rid of these players. But some of these players we are getting rid of is due to wages, not due to the fact they're not good footballers. It's due to cost saving. And we have interpreted it as, get out of the club, you're rubbish. I'm like, this guy left Man United, who finished in 15th, and he played a whole season for Chelsea, who finished top 4. He played for a better club. He went to Dortmund and played for a better club. We are Man United supporters, so we think Man United are the best club in the world and the best thing since sliced bread. But these players, these Antony going to Real Betis and Rashford going to Aston Villa, they're all better clubs than us at this moment of time. They haven't downgraded, they've upgraded themselves when they've moved. And if Sancho goes to Napoli, who've just won the league and are now in the Champions League, it's an upgrade. But what you're going to see online, and Sancho's going to be laughing, what you're going to see online is Man United fans who are bitter, angry, racist, and upset. Get out of the club, all these things. I'm like, bro, he's fine. We're the ones in 15th. Napoli just won the league. Do you not understand what you're doing is stupid? Like, stop for a second and get out your feelings. Your pride shouldn't be hurt here that he's left Man United, because most of you want him out anyway. So now that he's gone, I want people to leave him the fuck alone and just move on with your lives. That's what I want now, right? Big up yourself, AG. How many players can we buy without no one going out? AG, I'm not going to lie. Only 2 players. And even Mbumo, the reason why the Mbumo deal is not over the line yet is because we are trying to structure that deal in a way that we pay out the least amount outgoing. We want to do installments, yeah, and they are like, no, we want as much upfront as possible. That is why that deal's taking long. That is why. In an ideal world, bro, AG, we would have sold 2 or 3 players already. But I said on this channel many, many times, do not expect outgoings to be quick. They're not going to be quick and they're not going to be easy, guys. They're not. You've heard it from here. They're not. And we know this already. We should know this already. So I hope he's going to go, Jadon. I think Jadon's one of the easiest ones to sell because he had a good season with Chelsea, or at least a decent season with Chelsea. Got them winning a Conference League. He played in that match, played well. Got them into the top 4. He wants Napoli. I think Napoli will come in for him. Juventus, have already come in for him, submitted a 25 million euro offer, which is about 20 million pounds, which is cheap, to be honest. Jadon's 24, 25. That is quite cheap because they know we want to offload him. So that is what it is, guys. I think Jadon will go. If we get any money for him, that'll be good. And yeah, I just wish him the best of luck. Just put your head down, Jadon, because not everybody hates you. Yeah. Put your head down, play your football, and enjoy yourself, man. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. So let's move on to my favorite subject, garnacho. It's not really my favorite subject, but we will talk about garnacho. Now, what's the story? While a move for Alejandro Garnacho from Aston Villa is difficult, or for Aston Villa, maybe it should read, is difficult, Villa could do a deal in the next financial year while Man United work out a quick deal for Emiliano Martinez, which is seen as a win-win for PSR purposes. Big up yourself, TK. I'm good, my bro. Just enjoying the weather, enjoying life, and just trying my best to try to amalgamate all of these news stories in one to see what is happening with the club. Because at the moment, I'm not going to lie, I'm reading this stuff out, yeah, but I know Liverpool are making moves. Liverpool are signing all of these players. Man City are signing all of these players, and we're just sitting there on our butts. So it is what it is, bro. Big up yourself, though. I hope you're good, man. So once again, this Garnacho story is from Ben Jacobs. So what I'll say is this. Aston Villa's they're not signing Garnacho. They're not. And I still pray that we are not really in for Martinez. I pray, yeah, that we have not got into our heads, yeah, that Onana is so bad, yeah, that we have to spend 40 million, not even euros, pounds, for Emi Martinez, bro. Like, I pray that's not true. I just pray. But, apparently Aston Villa are looking to do a deal for Garnacho, which can't be done until the financial year. Garnacho, as we all know, is seen as a homegrown talent. He's been here since the age of 15, 16. So, the rule is you sell Garnacho for £30 million. It means you can probably spend 60 million in the transfer market. So PSR is very, very important. Was TK saying Sancho? We need to remember we got 5 million to take him back. Maybe that's the answer to loan him and keep collecting 5 million when he. You're funny. That's funny, 5 million every year. Yeah, I think it's only got like a year. Yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, I can like Sancho all I like in it. I like Sancho, but we need to sell this guy. Like the club don't want him, the manager doesn't want him. And I have to bite the bullet and bite my feelings and be like, listen, let's get rid of this guy. There's no point in us having this guy around and other clubs taking a mick and giving us 5 million a year and whatnot. Like that is some pimp. That's some pimp business. Like it's liberties. So yeah, listen. If we can get 25 million euros, 30 million euros for Sancho, great. It's a shame it didn't work out. I always find it weird because he hasn't played for this club for 2 years and still people have a visceral reaction towards Jadon. I'm like, bro. Imagine if Jadon Sancho, yeah, had put in the performances over the last 2 years that Garnacho's put in, where he's been terrible. People would be booing him. I don't. The problem that I have, yeah, is I'm so objective, yeah. I can see bias from a mile away. I always hold things constant, and I can see why does one player get treated one way, and I know the expectations for Jadon were much higher than. That's a problem. I think the expectation for Jadon was so high that people didn't really understand what type of player he was. And that's always my issue. My issue is many, many times we buy a player, we get overly gassed and we don't understand how that player thrived in their old system. And we bring him over to us and we put him in the main night shirt and we go, do the same shit. No. I can only do the same thing if I have the same thing. We can't take Paul Pogba from playing in a midfield 3, yeah, at Juventus and go, Play in the midfield too at Man United in the most physical league with no defensive backup and go do it. We're gonna see a different player. Jadon Sancho for Dortmund is linking up the play, playing one-touch football, is playing smooth football. He comes at Man United, he's given the ball and he's been told, go and attack your fullback. Go and beat your man. Go on, beat your man. Go on, son. Go on, son. That's not his game. Never has been. He can beat his man, but he's not a kick the ball past your man and run really quickly and then cross the ball. That's not him. He's technical. He'll do a step over. He'll do a drag back. He'll nutmeg you, and that's how he beats you, right? So fundamentally, we do not understand football, Man United fans. We don't, and we don't understand nuances and how to rate, how to assess a footballer's ability. We look at them in the other club. We tell them to come over here and do the same without providing them with the same atmosphere, the same sort of players to back them up, the same environment. It's so crazy to me to see. It's insane. And just because a winger doesn't take his man on, doesn't mean he's crap, bro. There's different types of wingers, different types of players. I wish we had the ability as fans to appreciate different players and to understand that certain players work best in certain systems. That is why I'm not a full-on hater of Garnacho. Many people are like, Garnacho's terrible, Garnacho's terrible. Listen, I'm not Garnacho's biggest fan. I am not. There's many flaws in his game, his footballing IQ, his decision making, all these things. But I also know that in a different system, that's not this number 10 system that we play, if he is just simply playing as a forward, a wide forward, and just told to attack your man all the time, just go at him. I'm telling you guys, he's only 20. There is a team out there that will get something out of this player. Put your feelings about him to the side, like I have done, because I don't like him. I don't like his attitude. I don't like the way he sees football, all of these things. But I can put that feeling to the side and say, do you know what? I reckon there's a system out there. There's a manager out there, a coach out there that will get this 20-year-old in the next 2 or 3 seasons playing really well. Still not to maybe to the level that I think Man United should aspire to, but at least to a decent level, a good enough level. Because we've seen him banging goals from 20 yards in the top corner. We've seen him do overhead kicks. We've seen him do things, yeah, at this young age that not a lot of young players are doing. Despite the fact that, in general, he often has bad games. I've seen enough to be like, do you know what? I'm not going to write this footballer off just yet. There is enough in this guy for me to say that he still might have a decent career somewhere else. Yeah? So, that's my take on it. I know he wants to stay. The story is, people, he wants to stay in England. That's not a good idea for Manchester United. I would prefer we sell him to a foreign club. But I can't see Aston Villa signing him. And I pray we don't actually get Emi Martinez. Hey, Temsgen coming in the chat, telling us what he wants, who he wants. He's very clear. You're very clear in who you want. You want Osimhen, you want Mbumo, you want Emi Martinez. I wouldn't mind Emi Martinez, but not for the 40 million fee. Edison, Louise, Malik, Fofana, Rodgers. Are you saying Rodgers from Aston Villa? Fernandez, yeah. To United is better for next season. Celtistic. Jaden hate is people projecting all their frustrations beyond what is healthy onto Jaden. Yeah, it's definitely that. I love to look at psychology and study football, because football is that one sport, that men are allowed to be babies. For some reason, when it comes to football, we're allowed to be emotional, abuse players, shout and cry. It's the one space, it's the one safe space that men come together and act the most immature. We do. Because we don't know how to regulate our emotions. So we keep it in, we bottle it in. But when it comes to football, we pour it out. We go from being excited, ecstatic to when a goal goes in, right? To being like in despair when we lose. Our emotion when we watch football is all over the place. It's the most emotionally charged thing some of us can watch. And I like to study that because men, we act like we're not emotional. But when it comes to football, we are so emotionally driven. And that is why people, I try my very, very best, yeah, to come at situations, come at topics as objective and as logical, yeah, as I can be. I'm emotional too. Of course I am. But I try not to be. So anyway, that's Nacho's exit. Listen, all the exits or possible exits will keep, the murmurs of them will keep going on. I did say it will take a long time for exits to happen, but it is what it is. And I think this Garnacho thing ain't going to be done next week or the week after either. Sancho probably might be the closest, or Antony. But Rashford, no. Rashford, Rashford still thinks he's going to go to Barcelona. So think of that what you will. Anyway, I'm going to touch on this very quickly. As you can see on the screen, these are the nominations for the PFA award. Yeah. Best footballer. I feel like I understand Mo Salah after the season Liverpool have had. I'm surprised more Liverpool players are not there. Declan Rice, I guess he has a decent season, and those goals in the Champions League made everyone suck him off. Cole Palmer, he's had an up and down season for me, for Chelsea. McAllister, very consistent for Liverpool. I kind of understand why he's there. Isak, probably the best striker in the league this season. But then you have Bruno. And you're thinking, huh? What? Bruno? Why? What? Hold on. I'd rather put Luis Diaz there. I think Luis Diaz for Liverpool has had a better season than Bruno. I think most Liverpool players in Liverpool's midfield, yeah, have had a better season than Bruno. I think Bruno Guimaraes for Newcastle has had a better season than Bruno. I think the whole Newcastle midfield has had a better season than Bruno. I think the whole Man City midfield. I think the Chelsea midfield. I think Caicedo has had a much better. How is Bruno Fernandes, after the season that Man United have had and the season he's had, how is he up for this award, guys? Listen, I am tired of this Bruno worship. I'm done with it. I cannot believe such a mediocre footballer who gets good GA, can only plays well in about 10 minutes in any game and then disappears for most of the game, especially this season. How he can be worshipped so much. Listen, I'm not saying Bruno is a bad footballer. I'm saying that he's not a great one. He's not a great footballer. I'm tired of stats, yeah, dictating what people see. People will go to a Man United match, right? We'll see Bruno lose the ball, not play that well, vacate his position in the double pivot, leave Casemiro by himself, right? See Bruno make a mistake that led to Tottenham scoring and winning the game, yeah, and then still sing his name. That is, what's happened, yeah? This is what's happened. This is psychology. No matter what Bruno does, yeah, we're going to sing his name. Bruno will have the worst match, yeah, and we'll sing his name. We have somehow, the media, the fans, everyone in between has somehow managed to instill a rhetoric that Bruno's our best player. He's a great footballer. So no matter how bad we are, no matter how many mistakes he makes, we finished 15th, but apparently the reason why we didn't get relegated is because of Bruno. So he's managed to put himself in our psyche that he's our savior, and we only got the only reason why we didn't get relegated is because of him. Not because of Ahmad and Ahmad's goals and the way Ahmad plays or the defense or anyone else. Him and him only. There's something broken in all of our brains if we arrive to that conclusion. I could argue to all of you guys listening right now that the more and more this team relies on Bruno, the more and more he becomes our best player, right? And is the more and more we've fallen, right? We finished 15th under his captaincy. It's not entirely his fault, but he is our captain. Where was he against Tottenham? Nowhere to be seen. Bruno, in every final that he's played in with Manchester United, has failed to turn up. In every single one of them, he's failed to turn up, really. So it's like, what is this? Why is Bruno up there? It's absolutely insane. It's insane. Listen, I'm not saying Bruno's a terrible player. I'm not saying that. But this sort of worship, this religious worship for Bruno is a disease, bro. It's a disease. Like, no, listen, I like Pogba, but Pogba's gone. And as soon as Bruno came, certain fans who look a certain way decided to use Bruno as a stick to beat Pogba with. Bruno is nowhere near Pogba. Nowhere near his level. Nowhere near how good he hasn't done anywhere near what Pogba's done for this club. Pogba won 3 trophies here. And he could argue that he single-handedly carried this football club while he was here for about 3 years. Not Bruno. Bruno, like, I'm tired of Bruno. I wanted him to be sold. But now that he's here, I'm like, cool. Let's see what he can do next season in that double pivot. Let's see him connect with Cunha and potentially Mbeumo when we get him. Let's see what happens. But to see him up for this award amongst these players, I mean, you can argue Cole Palmer might not be there, but amongst these players, I'm like, come on, people. That is brainwashing. You guys have just, in your mind, cemented that he's as good, and no matter how bad Man United are, he's the best player. You don't need to think about it. You don't need to watch Man United games. You just see all the commentators, pundits online will keep repeating, he's Man United's best player. He's the only reason. He's the only reason. The more you hear it, you get it into your psyche until you start believing it, until it becomes rhetoric. It becomes rhetoric that you can't fight. It's not true, because when you watch Manchester United play football with your eyes, he's nowhere near. He should be nowhere near this award this season, after the season that all the players have had. Not just him, by the way. We were not good this season. I could argue that Mazraoui was better this season than him. Mazraoui had a very consistent season. Mazraoui didn't start good and go bad and good. Mazraoui was more or less consistent, giving us a 6, 7 out of 10 in most games. Mazraoui. Bruno wasn't doing that at the start of the season. He doesn't give a consistent 6 out of 10. He goes missing in many games. So, I don't know, guys. I'm just tired of Bruno. I wanted him sold, but we're here. We're here now. And I just wanted to give my opinion on this farce. It's a farce, man. There's 20 players that should be there ahead of him. 20. At least. And I've already named 7. What's TK saying? I think with Bruno is that he kept his team from relegation. I can see why he is on the list otherwise. That's the thing. I don't believe he kept the team from relegation. I honestly don't believe that. And if he kept the team from relegation, so did Ahmad. So did all the other players on the pitch. So it's like, what are we doing here? Like Bruno isn't a superstar, but the weight of possible relegation is why he is considered on this list. I wanted him to take the squad Saudi money and we'd replace him with 2 50 million players. Yeah, I mean, I can't buy into the rhetoric that he saved Manchester United from relegation. I can't, and that's why because listen to this rhetoric. He saved Man United from relegation by himself in a team of 11. You can't do it by yourself, bro. You literally can't do it by yourself. There's other players in the team, right? What about Onana's 239 saves? I could argue Onana's 239 saves. Yes, he made mistakes, but if he made 10 less saves, we get relegated. So it's Onana saves. So it's like, I could do what you've just done and choose a rhetoric, choose somehow to spin it and make someone special. That's easy to do, and that's what people do all the time. I hear what people are saying with Bruno to a certain extent, because I don't hate Bruno, I just don't rate him as highly, as everyone else rates him. Like, I could argue that if we sold Bruno and we got a different number 10 in, sorry, a different midfielder in, who actually can play the double pivot and play it well, we wouldn't be 15th. I don't know. There's just so many ways you can argue it. So many ways. So, without Bruno, without Ahmad, where do we finish? Where do we think we finish without Ahmad in the team? I don't know. I think that's my point. It's like, and also, I don't believe in, because he stopped us getting relegated, he's the best player in the league. How does that make sense? Like, Cunha stopped Wolves from getting relegated, but Cunha is not on this list. There are many teams, that could have got relegated, but someone else saved them or someone scored a goal and they stopped. But none of these players are on the list. I don't believe, TK, that you are the best player in the league because you stopped the team from getting relegated. No. You just stopped the team from getting relegated. That's it. That's what you did. You stopping the team from getting relegated means you stopped a team from getting relegated. If you think that, then therefore, using your critical thinking skills denotes that you're the best player in the league because you stopped a rubbish team from getting relegated, then I don't know. Like, I can't join those dots. I can't say your performances stopped the team from getting relegated, so you're the best player in the league. I can't do that. That's not how my brain works. But I understand how everyone else does it. I understand how the logical fallacies can be arrived by how our brains work. You know, that is a normal conclusion to arrive by, I think. But I can't arrive to that conclusion, is what I'm saying. But we'll never know. You're right. We'll never know. We'll never know. I'm just saying that's not enough to say that he's the best player in the league. That's all. Without Ahmad 15th, he was away for injury and we didn't have him. Wiz, I didn't say he's a best 6 in the league. I'm saying someone felt sorry and put him on that 6. I feel you when you say 25th player season. Yeah. No, it's cool, bro. At the end of the day, it's good to disagree, bro. Yeah. It's good to disagree because everyone, me and you will have similar ways of thinking football, but not the same. Like, and it's not, I feel like it's not good to have the same approach to football. It's not good to have the same mentality to football. So I totally get what you're saying, my G. Totally get. And these are the players who are voting for this as well, which is quite interesting. But all right, no more Bruno hate. No more Bruno hate for me. I hope I've been objective as I can. I dislike the way that Bruno plays football. It's quite interesting that people like Vitinha and those sort of midfielders are being tied as, really good. And Vitinha was in a Premier League. I'm pretty sure he was playing for Wolves, and we didn't rate him. So it's like, that's because the Premier League is not the be all and end all. And I feel like I want a midfielder who does the right things, who finds his man, who can drop in a double pivot, who can drop a shoulder, who can receive the ball from the back four, who can, scout around. Bruno is not good at receiving the ball with his back to goal at all. I just feel like I need, one thing that Man United haven't had yet in a long time is a midfield maestro. Someone like, what's that guy from Crystal Palace? Adam Wharton. Someone who can just keep the ball ticking. Someone like Scholes, Carrick, move the ball. I understand that our manager wants Bruno to be that player, but that's not Bruno's game. Bruno doesn't have the discipline. Bruno will try to do a crazy ball every 5 minutes and lose possession. But I don't hate Bruno. I appreciate Bruno. I appreciate what he's done for the club. I just feel like he's overrated by a lot of Man United fans. I think that's where I'm at when it comes to Bruno. Um,
ChatGPT says that he's directly responsible for 12 points out of the points, which is about a third of the points.
yeah, Bruno takes penalties. He takes all the free kicks, every single free kick, every corner, and every penalty Bruno takes. So when he gets all these stats, I'm always like, it's good. It's good that he gets these stats and he gets his bonuses, but he's literally involved in everything. He's on everything that we do. He plays every single game, and we finish 15th. And I hate the fact that we finish 15th, and we finish 15th. And if we didn't have Bruno, we would have finished lower. I hate the fact that he is not responsible for our failures. This is sums it up perfectly, TK. He's not responsible for any of our failures. He, whenever we fail, it washes off him, and we don't look at him. But when we succeed, it's all his fault. We succeed only because of him. So how's the same person who's on the pitch, yeah, getting praised when we succeed, but he bears no responsibility when we lose? I cannot take that. That is crazy to me. And we do that as a fan base. We sing his name when we're losing, when he's having a bad game. None of the failures, yeah, are on him. Not one. That's weird to me. And I know if Pogba was playing and putting in the same performances as him, it would be a different story. The media would be reacting differently. So,
ChatGPT to replace Bruno with another
all right,
midfielder.
man, all good, man. He got the pity vote. He definitely got the pity vote. I feel like I've gone too hard on Bruno, and I've allowed you guys to see. When I say yeah, no emotion, stop being emotional. I mean, stop being like this. I was a bit emotional just then, but I still gave you guys, yeah, objective, objective stuff. I gave you guys reasons, yeah, why I dislike him. I wasn't just hating on man for no reason.
Swap him with KDB and
So
ChatGPT says he finished 10th.
yeah. Antony is prepared to take a 30% wage cut to leave Man United permanently this summer. Beautiful. Beautiful news, man. Beautiful news. Listen, I'm not an Antony hater as well. Um, he, I don't understand why our manager, Ten Hag at the time, bought Antony to only play this really quick counter attacking style football. It's our transfer strategy has been absolutely insane, bro. Like we bought Antony, and when we bought Antony, I was like, hold on a second, why are we buying Antony on the right when we got Jadon Sancho? I was confused. I was like, this manager hasn't even like played one game with Jadon, and he's already buying Antony. Okay, cool. And then later on, I realized that this manager wants to play a sort of quick back to front, sort of counter attacking style of football. And I feel like when I look at Antony's game, I'm like, this guy wants to play possession football. Antony is all about playing possession football. So I have never bought into the rhetoric. Once again, unpopular opinion, people, I've never bought into the rhetoric that Antony is crap. Is his shooting the best? No. Is his crossing the best? No. Um, his dribbling technique is quite interesting, but I never really bought into the idea that he's rubbish. I'm always buying into the idea that some players are just not good in the Premier League, but that doesn't make them rubbish. Antony should get sold. Antony needs to leave Manchester United. The club don't want him. He's on high wages. It hasn't worked out, unfortunately, in the last 2 years. I'm always intrigued who gets forced out and who gets to stay. Why does Mason Mount stay for 3 or 4 years now? And he's done nothing, but Antony gets forced out. Like, I'm always intrigued in who the fan base decides to hate, who's rubbish, and who the fan base decides to love, who is rubbish. Like Luke Shaw's, for instance, get protected. But Antony needs to go. I'm happy, once again, similar to Jaden, that there are teams in for him. Best of luck, man. Best of luck. Like Real Betis, if you're gonna come in for him, give us some good money. Give us 40 million euros at least for him. Once again, we are making losses in all of these players. On all of these players, but it is what it is. We've got ourselves in this situation as um as a football club. So let's lighten the mood. I didn't even see that. I said, let's lighten the mood because he's flexing them pipes. Who has the most punchable face in the Prem? I said James Maddison. I've never thought who's got the most punchable face in the Prem. Nah, that's funny. Yeah, TK said let's lighten the mood, and my Dave said Bruno. My Dave wants to bring it back to Bruno. He said no, let's lighten the mood. Let's keep. No, Bruno's got them satellite dishes. Yeah, nah, but I don't want to punch them. I don't want to punch Bruno. Who's got the most punchable face? That's a funny. I don't know. Who do you want to punch up? I said James Maddison. No, see, apple trees. Kicking ball in apple. The thing is about James Maddison, he's got a smugness. He's got a smugness about him. Don't you think? That's funny. Yeah, I get why he said James Maddison. He's got a smugness about him.
It's natural.
Yeah. Okay. Antony. So yeah, I mean Antony, like I said, he needs to take a pay cut. I'm all for Antony leaving the club. I'm surprised that, he wasn't played at wing back. I mean, he was played at wing back a few times and he did all right at Man United, but his wages are high and he hasn't worked out. So it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, people, I've done my Bruno bashing. We've spoken about the goalkeeper saga. We've spoken about Xerxes and Hojlund. You know my take on the Xerxes Hojlund situation. Sancho, I think Sancho is leaving. Nacho probably is leaving as well. The only one that I have worries about not going on a permanent deal is Rashford. Hojlund as well, of course. Hojlund, there's no certainty Hojlund will leave, guys. I want to make that very clear. And I've said it many times. Outgoings are hard. TK, outgoings are hard. Every season, we're looking forward to outgoings. Every summer, we're like, yeah, there's going to be loads of outgoings. Lindelof is going. Lindelof ran his contract down. Season after season, summer after summer, we think Lindelof is going. He didn't go nowhere. Phil Jones, fell off into obscurity where everyone forgot about him. Everyone forgot about Phil Jones. Luke Shaw, once again. Luke Shaw is here, plays 1 or 2 games a season, then he's injured for the rest of the season. No one really talks about him. No one pays attention to him. So it is what it is. I think Luke Shaw has a punchable face. Yeah. TK, Luke Shaw. That's it. That's my guy. Right hook, left hook. Uppercut. No, I'm joking. I don't promote violence, guys. Not on this channel. Don't listen to TK. It doesn't speak for me. That's jokes, man. But yeah. Nah, man, I don't like the way Liverpool and Man City are moving right now. You know when I keep saying to you lot that we can make signings, bro, and improve our team by 5%. But if our rivals are improving their team by 10, 15%, what it means is we are going further and getting further away from them. The business, that Man City have done, like the businesses, that Liverpool are doing, bro, it's scary. It's absolutely scary, and it makes me feel like, yes, I've told you guys that the Mbeumo deal will happen. I put my head, above the pulpit, above the sand, and said, listen, coming from me, I'm telling you guys, it will happen. Just be patient. But boy, if it doesn't happen somehow, and we don't get the players that we want, put it this way, Brentford, Bournemouth, and all those teams, that's our rivals. They're our rivals this year. So It is what it is, guys. Slow news day, but still enough news for us to get our teeth in, for me to express my opinion on, and for me to just get annoyed. Really, I guess Bruno's that guy. Bruno's my trigger. TK he's found my trigger. Nah. Bruno's cool. Bruno's cool, man. When Bruno keeps it simple, yeah. Because I've seen games, yeah. The season just gone, yeah. Bruno playing in a double pivot, and he's kept it simple. Just kept it ticking around. That's the best Bruno. I like Bruno like that. I really do. Um, but yeah, onwards and upwards. I don't think there's any more news. Let me quickly look. Martinez, Onana, Monaco interested. Bruno, yeah. Let's look at what's going on. Xerxes, that's June the 19th. That's a picture. Um,
Just the same news from yesterday that Nick Cox has left.
yeah, Nick Cox has left his role as Manchester United Academy Director, as already reported, and he's gone to Everton. So we already know that already.
He's ready to start his first full season.
Yeah. So slow news day. I've just gone through Twitter to see if anything is really popping off other than what I've just spoken about. I don't really see anything popping off really. There's nothing else to report, guys. Comment below, let me know what's going on. TK, good bro. It's big up yourself. It's good to get into these conversations. Like, and do you know what it is, yeah? It's also good to listen to other people. Like, you spoken about Bruno, and the way you positioned it, like where would we be without Bruno and all these things, it's also given me food for thought and made me think, do you know what? Yes, I might not like how he plays and all these things, but Bruno has been essential. He has been fundamental to Man United. So I have to take that. Listen, I can't be a hypocrite and be like, it's not about emotion. And at the same time, when someone's trying to tell me something, I can't at least listen in it. So I hear what you're saying fully, and you're making some good points. So, bro, like your perspective can change when you listen to people. So it is what it is, man. Always, man. I love your thoughts, bro, and your contributions, man. Like without all your contributions, even now, the chat is dead, bro. So I'll be real. So it is what it is, man. Listen, stick around, man, because like I said, when I can start doing shows and start doing split screen and stuff, if you're around, let's chop it up, bro. Let's chop it up. You know what I'm saying? And start doing shows and whatnot. So yeah. My socials are the same. Listen, I'm not very active on socials, to be fair, but I'm trying. So, Chosen Wisdom on Twitter, Chosen Wisdom on Instagram, and Chosen Wisdom on TikTok. TikTok, I'm probably more active than anything. Twitter, I will tweet. Instagram, I'm the least active. So those are my socials. Help me up, man. DM me. And like I said, if you want to do something, let's do something. But yeah, big up, man. Nice show. Good conversation. Some decent news to sink our teeth in. But once again, another slow week, really. And a lot of us are waiting for the Mbumo. Here we go. I think the second bid potentially will be the Man United's last bid. That is why they're taking their time. I don't think this one is going to be a third bid for Mbumo. And if Brentford don't accept the second bid that Man United will eventually put in, then I don't know. Nkunku, maybe not Nkunku, but who knows? Who knows who we could get? Yeah, man, it's all good, bro. All love, TK, and everyone else in the chat. Big up yourselves, people. Hope you're having a good. No, I hope you have a good weekend. Hopefully, there's something that happens on the weekend, but not usually. Not usually. If there's anything that happens, I will go live. We'll talk about it. Look at my tweet. That's stupid. Luke Shaw, yeah. When Luke Shaw came into the team towards the end of the season, I was like, oh no. And he I think the first game scored an own goal, and the last game against Tottenham he scored an own goal, and he was also at fault for us conceding another goal. I feel like he was so calamitous, yeah, when he played. I was like, Ruben, he should never play for this football club again. Like, and it's a shame because I like Luke Shaw. It's so annoying because when Luke Shaw came, yeah, he was a bad boy. I don't care what anyone says. Let's not lie and say Luke Shaw is rubbish. Like, technically speaking, at a technical standpoint, Luke Shaw is a good footballer. I've always said this. Whether he's passing, crossing, all of these things, his technical aspects, his sound is up there with Shaw. It's up there that it's not really great. His IQ is. I remember when Jose said I had to hold his hand and tell him where to be and where to drop off and all these things. I don't think his footballing IQ is the greatest. And for me, he's very, very lazy. When people used to call other players lazy, I was always like, no. Luke, haven't you not seen Luke Shaw doesn't ever bum forward anymore. He never overlaps. He never runs with any kind of speed. He jogs everywhere. He's just forever jogging. Like, it's crazy. And the reason why I don't like Luke Shaw, I'm not a fan, but after his first leg break playing for I think Louis van Gaal, he was never the same player again. I think after his first leg break, he stopped jumping into tackles. He stopped playing with confidence. He second guessed himself. You can tell he was never the same player after that big injury. And it's a shame. But it is what it is anyway. On a side note, yeah, man, on a side note, that picture just made me laugh. That picture just makes me laugh. But anyway, man, TK, big up yourself. Everyone in the chat, big up yourselves. More Man United news, hopefully on the weekend. I might be here 7 o'clock or 6 o'clock tomorrow if there is more news. As usual, guys, smash the like. Please, please smash the like so we can get more people involved, more people seeing this channel and get the channel growing. We need 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, people. That is our target. Yeah. Enjoy the evening.